guys, what's up? So it's been a hot minute since I've been on here, but I did want to just pop in really quick, or at least try and make it quick, to kind of summarize the past 4 months since our baby girl Allie was born. I wanted to just focus primarily on more of my health and her health as it relates to me having chronic Lyme disease, since that tends to be where people are most interested in this journey of mine. So let's get started. So just really briefly, so I talked about it in a video a few weeks before Allie was born. I'm not sure. So she was breached, and we tried to get her flipped with the, I can't even remember the technical name now, but we, tried to flip her physically. Did not work as a result of my heart-shaped uterus. She was kind of stuck up in the right-hand corner of my uterus. So from there, we just went directly into a C-section. She was born 6 pounds, 5 ounces, exactly at, I almost said 6 o'clock on May 20th. And she was super healthy, came out screaming. And from there, she passed all of her tests with flying colors, no jaundice, no nothing. We did not get any vaccines or vitamin K shot or antibiotic cream, which I can definitely go into in further detail and further posts. But we're not going to get into that today because that's a completely other story. But so we were only in the hospital for a couple days. I actually got released early because I essentially proved to them that I could function even though I was still in excruciating pain. Having an abdominal surgery back in 2012, it kind of prepared me for what a C-section would feel like. So I was able to get out quick, kind of knew what I had to do. And from there, Allie sees a practice nearby. They're actually nurse practitioners, and they have more of a functional approach to just their practice as a whole. It's to females. We love it, and we're actually going in for our 4-month coming up here soon because she's almost 4 months. But she's been doing great. She did have a tongue tie issue that we had to get resolved around 6 weeks or so, because she was having terrible acid reflux. She was not sleeping, not eating well, just overall miserable. And so that was a really rough time. I can definitely get into that more in detail in another post, because honestly, that's a whole other thing to talk about. But so we did that, and it took some time. We did a lot of bottle feeding with breast milk to help with the acid reflux, just kind of settle things down. But she's doing great now. I am going to school full time, so I pump when I'm away, pretty much nurse when I am here with her. And honestly, she's doing great. So Allie's doing great. She's turning into a total chunk. She's no longer the little frail 6 pounds, 5 ounces. But some people have asked about, and well, they asked when I was pregnant and even now, like, how do we know that anything that I have or experienced in the past did not transmit to her. So for the Lyme specifically, so the Borrelia Lyme strain, I did do an IGeneX test on my placenta, and essentially my doctor, I had the test kit already, filled everything out. He took, a chunk of it off and sent it in, and then IGeneX gets back to me with the results. It came back negative. And essentially they're testing for any related DNA to this specific bacteria. Nothing present for the Lyme. Now that doesn't rule out co-infections, because this placenta test could only be done through Lyme. They don't have, at least to my knowledge, they don't have ones for co-infections and like other different diseases. So I checked with my functional medicine doctor here in Tennessee, and he's never really tested a child, younger than a year old for different co-infections and stuff like that. So we're just kind of waiting to do any further testing, whether it be blood or urine. We will probably go through hygienics again unless there is a better lab that he suggests. And just kind of watching her is to see if she has any symptoms, whether it be food allergies or anything presenting like autoimmune wise on her skin, or just anything tiny. She still is so young, but thankfully she's had nothing. We thought maybe she was allergic to dairy at one point, but that ended up just being the terrible reflux. I choose to avoid dairy pretty much. Back when I was pregnant, I had reintroduced like more fresh dairy products, but I kind of I stopped doing those to help ease her reflux, to make sure none of the proteins were transmitting through my milk. And now it's just kind of habit, like I don't really touch those items anyways. But she definitely doesn't have any allergies, like myself, or any skin problems. She's a very healthy girl. So I'm not too worried about it. Of course, I keep my tabs, but as of now, she's doing great. Eventually, we will probably do more testing just to rule some things out, because that's always a good idea. But right now, we're just laying low. So as far as Allie's health goes, again, like I said, she's doing great. We just did the hygienics placenta test, came back negative. We have not done any further testing, though. My friend actually brought this to my attention. I have the MTHFR gene mutation, and essentially I can't detox well. I can't process my B vitamins, and just different things that all relates to. And so I want to make sure that Allie doesn't have it. So I am going to talk to the nurse practitioners about figuring out if we need what kind of testing, or just moving forward, what we should do about that. I mean, we haven't, she's waking up. We haven't introduced any foods yet. And of course, we try and get sunlight and fresh air. But as far as detoxing at 3.5 months old, she's not showing signs that she's not properly detoxing. So it's just another thing kind of on the list, in the future. We will be more aware and kind of, make sure that things don't get backed up, and that's just something that we need to pay attention to. Okay, so since the little girl is waking up and she's gonna be hungry, I just wanted to run through my health really quickly, as fast as I can. So during pregnancy, my immune system was lowered, and so my mast cell issues actually got better. I wasn't reacting to everything. My GI tract, I was pregnant, so I was already, kind of looked like I was, bloated or whatever, but my bloating wasn't as bad. My stomach felt just a lot better overall, less gas, more normal bowel movements, just all across the board felt much better, aside from the morning sickness and lethargy that comes with pregnancy. So overall, I was doing better, and so I was honestly kind of dreading postpartum. What is my body gonna do? Is it gonna totally tank? Is my thyroid gonna go downhill? What's gonna happen? So as far as my allergies go, I think that just that reduction in the activity of my immune system when I was pregnant has helped, in a way, just kind of make my mast cells stop reacting as much in the long term. I definitely react more to things than when I was pregnant. It's not just, I can't just throw complete caution to the wind. I will react. My reactions are not as severe, I would say, as before pregnancy. My ulcerative colitis, I'm so sorry. My interstitial cystitis symptoms pretty much dissipated through pregnancy, which again tells me that it's just another inflammatory issue with my immune system. Coming back postpartum, the only thing that I introduced and was kind of eating that would cause pain to my bladder and is thought to be like a bladder irritant would be dark chocolate. And I was doing okay for a while, and then it just got too much, so my pain spiked. And honestly, I've had like ups and downs with that. I avoid the chocolate now, but that's like, again, that's something that when I was pregnant, the chocolate wouldn't bother my IC pain. So it's interesting. So everything, I wouldn't say it's as bad as before pregnancy, but it's definitely not as good as when I was pregnant, which is a bummer. As far as my thyroid goes, my thyroid labs look good according to my endocrinologist, and I've seen the numbers and everything feels fine. I am up a little bit in my dose. I just felt that was necessary when I was starting to feel really just behind on sleep and stuff, and just used my intuition with that one, and everything has stayed stable. So I'm just kind of going with that one. And yeah. As far as Lyme symptoms go, all throughout pregnancy, I did my Bartonella homeopathic, and I still continue to do that. Sometimes the dose hits me harder than others. Sometimes I don't feel it at all. All throughout pregnancy, I did get colonics. I still get them now. So it just depends on how well my detox pathways are doing, how well I'm eliminating toxins. Because when I take the dose, even though I might not have like a serious, like, oh my gosh, this is Lyme, Bartonella symptoms, I definitely get the symptoms of, okay, I took that dose, my body's detoxing super hard, and it's kind of backed up, and things just aren't working as efficiently as they should. Once I get my pathways cleared, I feel good, like, I feel better again. So aside from that, I have the normal exhaustion from being a full-time student, having a 5 and 7-year-old and a little 3-month-old, and the lack of sleep that comes with all of that. But I would say overall, as long as I stay on top of my food intake, my detox pathways, and my sleep as a priority, number one priority, overall, I feel like I'm doing pretty well. And I think anyone around me would tell you that as well. All right, guys, so the party's over. I got to get back to work with this little one. But I'll definitely get into more detail in the future about my health and my treatments moving forward. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.